There's this one point where Tom Holland gets the upper hand, and he's just wailing on one of them. He's just sitting there fucking laughing at it. He's like,
he's laughing at every punch. Like, it was so fucking crazy.
Fuck.
Let me tell you how it's about to go. Let me show you the towel you're about to throw. This is hip-hop, try to run in our house, we'll knock your ass straight out the door. I'm the enemy's epitome, the fantasy, my tendency to mentally give your career the death penalty. I instantly advise you to match my intensity, try to fit my brain like Jackie Kennedy. I'm so tired of the why not, tired of putting MCs in a pine box. You motherfuckers couldn't even hit me in my blind.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Lost Agents TV. We are Reddit MC, and I'm Ray.
And I guess I'm James.
We just left the theater a few hours ago. Guess what we watched?
We watched Elf for the 15th billion. We watched Spiderman, No Way Home.
Yep.
Super excited for it going into it. Mm-hmm. Me, him, and Skylar. Skylar, if you're watching this, thank you for coming and watching it with us.
He's been on our channel.
Yeah, he has been on our channel. We talked about it for a long time on the way up there, making jokes on that stuff. God, did it not disappoint.
It was phenomenal to say the least.
Yes.
Fucking soothing.
Perfect so far. And again, this is our first reaction. I'm going to go back and watch the movie. I'm sure Ray will go back and watch the movie. And maybe in the second one, we'll see something like the second watching, we're like, oh, well, I don't really like how that went. Or But for the most part, we enjoyed it. Spoilers, okay? We are going to try our damnedest not to just spoil anything for just random people. So it's going to be on the thing. It's spoiler review because we're going to talk about the whole damn movie. So if you haven't seen this movie, stop this, come back to it, go watch the movie.
All right, so let's break it down.
It starts off basically how the last one ended. If you've seen Far From Home, Peter Parker's been outed as a killer, even though he didn't really kill Mysterio, and Mysterio set that whole thing up. Everybody knows who Peter Parker, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, all this stuff. They do a nice little voiceover clip thing at the beginning while the Marvel credits are rolling, which was really nice.
That was a nice touch. And
then, it cuts, and then Peter's just freaking out, and Mary Jane's in this crowd, and they're, surrounding her, are you Spider-Man's girlfriend? Just giving her a crap. And, Peter just swoops in, grabs him, and says, fuck it, let's get out of here, let's go. And they go meet up with Ned. They go back to his house, where, for whatever reason, Happy and Aunt May broke up. Which
sad.
I didn't see that coming. I also didn't see it coming, but I guess she said it was because of boundary issues, I guess, the way he was acting. And they barge in on Peter when he just came out of just got into the room, and he was trying to undress as quick as possible and change. Happy and they open the door, and they think him and Mary Jane says, or not Mary Jane, Michelle, MJ had sex. It was a kind of funny scene.
Let's get it on.
Yeah. He's trying to hide from Happy and Aunt May about him being outed as Spider-Man. Does not work.
Can you hide the fact? No. The Spleedy's cut in half at this point. He tries to hide it. Behind him, the news is on, of course. He actually opens the window because he keeps trying to close the blinds. Mm-hmm. Unsuccessful. He eventually is like, fuck it. He opens the blinds. Which choppers are out there.
I did like that touch because, when the first time they did it and they didn't really do a cut. The second time he went and opened it up, there was it went from no helicopter to helicopter. There, it was a nice little touch.
So he's basically on the news now. I can only imagine how that feels. So the series of unfortunate events unfold, and then knock, let the devil in. Venom reference. The cops show up and they say they got a warrant. Aunt May's actually pretty smart. It's like, hey, Fourth Amendment.
She's quoting she's quoting some legal jargon at them. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They walk in and they take everybody into question. They take Peter, Aunt May, MJ, Ned.
They didn't take Happy.
They didn't take Happy. Everybody's staying quiet like they should, except for Ned.
Bro, MJ was on point. Her and May walked past Peter while he's getting interrogated, in this glass room. They were like,
in sync.
Don't say anything without a lawyer. And she was ending everything the dude was saying to her. She was like, I basically know what you're going to say.
Ned just spilled the beans from the jump.
He fell for a hook, line, and sinker. Owen came in bro, Ned's been here for so long. Get him a snack. Yeah. Ned fell for it so fucking easy. And this is a guy who hacked Stark fucking tech.
That's
how
crazy.
do you fall for that, bro? So you're basically saying you're Spider-Man's number one accomplice.
He said, I would like all my words retracted from my statement. It don't work that way, bro.
That's not how it works. You said it. It's there. The one dude told Aunt May she needs to lawyer up real good because basically, he put it that as his guardian, as Peter Parker's guardian, that he shouldn't be out doing all this because he's still 17, and you're basically endangering this child. So she's like, you need to lawyer up. So they did lawyer up. And this is not something I saw coming. I'm pretty sure you didn't see that coming either.
No.
I wasn't thinking about this shit at all. Fucking Daredevil is their lawyer. And if you've seen the Netflix show, it is the same actor, and it's so cool. He basically told him, like, you're good, don't worry about it. I got y'all covered. Everybody but happy anyway.
Yeah.
Happy you're going to need a better lawyer, because apparently some Stark stuff went missing. They even have this cool scene where, like, somebody throws a brick in the window because they're talking about how, like, they believe Mysterio and shit. Daredevil just catches that shit right in front of Peter. He's like, how'd you do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
So on the real, they live, like, stories and stories up.
Yeah.
That'd have been, like, a major fucking throw.
No, it had to have been somebody from across, dude.
Like the roof?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if they throwing it from the front, bro, that man needs to be
Tom
signed.
Brady,
he needs to be signed, bro. Peter just trying to live in this scenario where everybody knows he's Spider-Man.
Because the city, like I said, is cut in half.
Yeah.
Half of it supporters, half of it just wants them fucking, like, convicted for murder.
They even have this little line where, like, he's going, all he's doing is going to school. Him and MJ are, like, holding hands, and people are, like, shit-talking them or praising them or whatever. And then Flash is dumbass. God, Flash is coming there acting like he's Spider-Man's best fucking friend, wrote a fucking book about it.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Promoting his own book to the damn press.
Yeah. Like, there's like a scene where he goes in there and like the principal of them are acting way too extra. They built basically a fucking shrine for the guy. I told him he could swing through the fucking halls if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That one coach, which is played by Hannibal Buress, was like, fuck that. Mysterio was right. Fuck you. No, them kids ain't do that shit. You did that shit, principal. Like, on his ass. It was fucking hilarious.
And then he walks down the hall, way it's shot. Camera just pans over, and like the whole fucking school is just
in the hallway. And like they split like the damn Red Sea. And they're all just taking pictures of them. And I felt really bad. That part really felt awful. Peter, MJ, and Ned are trying to synchronize their scholarships, like where they're going to go to school at. And this right here just messed it all up. So they all had these different places they were going to go to. Peter and Aunt May move into basically Happy's place because people are fucking going crazy where he lives, and they don't really know where Happy lives. So it's like, fuck it, we'll do that. Their main one they're trying to go to is MIT.
Anyway, the three meet up at this diner where MJ works. They're like, hey, we got our letters. We should do it together.
Yeah.
Open them together. On three. 1, 2, 3, they open it up. They say nothing. Just eye contact alone, you know, they didn't get in. Mm-hmm. Which we talked about. We thought MJ got in.
But apparently she didn't. Because I just, like, she was too quick to rip hers up.
Yeah.
But that's also just kind of how she is.
Of course, Peter feels bad. The boss of the diner calls MJ by the wrong name.
Yeah.
What was it, Sandra? Whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Sandra.
Yeah.
Actually told Sandra to take the lights down, but okay. Because there's like still Halloween lights.
Fucking Flash comes in singing No Sleep Till.
With a fucking MIT fucking hoodie on.
Boston.
Peter's looking at the Halloween decorations, these lights. It kind of looks like Doctor Strange.
Yep.
It gives him the idea, hey, okay, I'm going to go to Doctor Strange. I'm asking for a favor.
He gets there. Kind of cool scene where like there's like a bunch of fucking snow in there and it's snowing, and I get it because like there's portals, and one of them got open, and just so happened when they did, a fucking blizzard shot through.
That would be a bitch.
Bro, and like they hired people to come in and shovel fucking snow inside a building. Could you imagine getting that fucking request? Like, hey, I need you to shovel snow.
The thing, it was still snowing in the building.
Oh, it was? Wong is like calling the shots now, and Peter's like, well, I thought you were supposed to be Sorcerer Supreme. He's like, well, he got it on technicality because technically I got blipped for 5 years. Peter goes to talk to Strange. Basically, it's just like, yo, look, I fucked up. I don't want to ruin MJ and Ned's life. Can we find a way to make it where this didn't happen? He was kind of suggesting time travel, like with the time stone or whatever. They haven't got time stone no more. They got destroyed.
No more.
Well, I know this spell we can do. And Wong's like against it. If you've seen the trailer, he was like super against it in the trailer. But in this, he actually comes around and like, just
leave me out of it.
Leave me out of it. And he's like, and he went and he did his thing. And then, of course, Strange and Peter go down to basically the basement.
Yeah, they had a name for it.
I can't remember the name.
Though.
But they were going to run a spell there.
Doctor Strange is about to do the spell. Peter's like, well, hold on. Can MJ still know? He redoes the spell real quick. He's like, okay. He's like, wait. Well, I should probably do Ned too.
Yeah.
Okay. No more. He's about to do it again. He's like, well, my Aunt May should probably know too.
Like, fine. Aunt May, let's go.
Then he's like, Doctor Strange is like, stop. You're fucking it up. Finally does it one more time. It fucked it up. He couldn't do it. So he had to contain it in this crystallized
Little ball
thing. Eventually put the little ball thing inside like this ancient box, so it would be locked up.
It kind of looks like, if you've seen like the Justice League, like it kind of in a way kind of looks like the mother boxes.
So Doctor Strange is like, Peter, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. They got on the conversation of Peter should have called MIT to try to plead his case.
He said he didn't know that he could call and plead his case, and Strange lit into this boy like,
he's like, are you fucking serious?
Peter's like, he calls Flash. He finds out that there's this woman that he needs to talk to, so he finds her because she's on her way to the airport. And he's got this cool, like, I'm pretty sure it's the Iron Spider suit, where it's like, it's Stark technology, it's nanotechnology.
Yeah, nanotechnology.
Fucking changes into a suit, in and out of the suit, like an actual suit and tie to like the fucking Spider-Man suit, which was pretty cool. He catches up to her, he talks to her, she's sitting in traffic. He didn't word it right. He wasn't saying it in the right way. At that moment, people start running. People start freaking out. And his spider sense goes off. He's like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. One of the first big reveals, which, if you've seen the trailer, you knew this was happening. Doc Ock.
Hello, Peter.
He comes in. They have a nice little fight, a back and forth. And Doc Ock's talking about trying to find his stuff, like his machine, which, if you've seen Spider-Man 2, you know that he had a machine that he used, that he was going to, like, basically harness the energy of the sun. They have this crazy fight. This woman the woman in the car, her car is basically getting knocked off the road, and like she's like hanging on for dear life because the dude who was driving said fuck it, dipped, and left the doors locked, so she had to unlock it. And it just so happened that she was against the fucking barrier, trying his best to save her. And he saved another family too. Gets to her, and then Doc Ock is just going crazy with these moves. Throws him through a fucking
a sign, and also a fucking 18-wheeler truck.
Yeah, and through a UPS window. Mm-hmm. Sparks, so he pulls up the fucking spider claws or whatever he has in that suit. Doc Ock gets the upper hand, pins him against the wall, is going to go kill him, but his mask comes off. And he's like, wait, you're not Peter. Doc Ock had like basically ripped a hole in the middle of Spider-Man's spider suit. The nanotechnology linked up to Doc Ock's arms, which I thought was really dope because I didn't expect that to happen. It gave Peter the opportunity to link his suit with his arms and control that shit.
He just started trolling at that moment. He's like, hi!
He saves the woman and all that stuff, and they're having a discussion about like who's who, like what's the situation. And then right at that moment, what happens?
You see the all familiar, the laugh, bro.
The laugh came in. It was like so dope.
One of those bomb rollers come in, explode a few cars. I'm
not saying it was the exact suit, but it looked exactly like the suit from the original Spider-Man.
Yep.
It was so dope. And then out of nowhere, boom, Doc Ock and Peter are just like go through the portal, and Strange is there, and he's got like cuts on himself and everything. Mm-hmm. Some of these villains from all the worlds got in, and you got to catch them.
But he caught Lizard.
Yep, he caught the Lizard, which is
Dr. Connors.
Which is from the Amazing Spider-Man, which was like, that was a pretty little tie-in.
He mentioned that he found him
in the sewers.
Like he was just chilling, like throwing rocks at the wall, and she was like, fucking, I'm here.
He gives him this thing so he could basically just one-shot him, put him in these little tunnels and everything. So he sets up a plan with MJ and Ned. Like, look, we're going to go to this spot. We're going to find out where these people are. And they found one.
They caught word of invasion or whatever at this military research facility.
They said they saw like something flying.
Yeah.
Again, you've seen Green Goblin, so you immediately pieced it together. It was Green Goblin.
Yeah.
It was not Green Goblin.
It's cool how they communicate as well, because at the same time, Peter's like swinging towards this thing. Like MJ and Ned can like see where he is and what's going on.
He literally has his phone strapped to his chest.
Yeah.
And they're like FaceTiming, basically.
It's like fucking duct tape.
Yeah, he duct taped that shit.
He duct taped it. So he shows up. He's like, hey guys, let me know if you hear anything. They're like, man, but it's really dark. I can't see nothing.
He saw something, and you see something in the background, and I immediately knew what that was. It's like, oh shit.
And my first thought, because the first thing you see in the background is like all this dirt lifting up and shit.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit. But is that what happened at first?
No.
Who did we see?
We saw Elektra, which was Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
and it was so dope. He looked so much different. And they even make a joke about it later, and we can talk about that later, but
it's for the better.
He looks so much better.
Yeah, so much better.
He basically, like, all his electricity, and like he's basically about to kill Spider-Man. Fucking Flint. I can't remember his last name. The Sandman. Blocks. And he's like, his character arc was so weird because he goes from like being helpful to like,
he's so wishy-washy.
Yeah, he's back and forth. But he helps them. They pull Jamie Foxx, Electro down, and whenever they do it, He's literally just butt-ass naked.
Yeah.
And he makes that joke, like, y'all just gonna stay here and act like I ain't butt-ass naked? He puts a fireman suit on him, sends him to the thing.
Once Sandman saw that Peter, like, blasted fucking Electro Man, he was like, is he dead? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Like, he was confused. At that point, he didn't trust Peter anymore. Then he finally saw it really wasn't Peter. He was like, nah, hold the fuck up. Mm-hmm. But he got the shot off him.
And then so they're in the little basement area where all these villains there. And they're all talking about how they know each other in a way. Doc Ock said earlier, like, Norman died before me. Like, he died before I became what I am. They find Norman because, like, he literally breaks the mask. And, like, Willem Dafoe.
Before we get any further into the whole Green Goblin thing, Willem Dafoe in this, Green Goblin 2.0, blew me away on a phenomenal level.
What happens is that he breaks that and he just goes straight into Aunt May's fucking shelter.
Yep, goes into the shelter, and guess what? Aunt May calls Peter. He's like, hey, the guy you was looking for is walking into the damn shelter. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny, like, the way it played out, because Peter walked into the shelter, like, freaking out, like, running, like, Aunt May, are you okay? Where you at? And then they're just chilling and just like, sitting there talking.
Because when Norman's Norman, he's a normal person.
Yeah.
He doesn't act crazy. But he was just basically trying to tell a story, and Aunt May comes over to talk to Peter, and there was this really funny scene where while that's happening, fucking Nora Osborn is just stealing donuts.
Fucking donuts, like.
And he's like he's acting like he wasn't doing it, like he was checking his pockets.
It's hilarious. And then Aunt May's like, he's lost. Like, not only physically, but he's lost in the head. Aunt May, Peter had this conversation where Aunt May talks him into, like, even though it's not your problem, it's what we do. We help people. You need to help them. So they go back to Dr. Strange's place. The first thing that Norman sees is Doc Ock. He's like, Octavius? Doc Ock turns around and is like, Norman? This can't be. And then they have a little backstory and, like, they even start cracking jokes about the other characters in the scene. You died. Like, I didn't die. I'm right here. Jamie Foxx's Electro, he was like, I had Spiderman by the grasp. Like, I was stuck in the grid and I was about to die, but now I'm here. And then Doc Ock was like, I had Peter in my grasp, with my machine. I was about to kill him, but now I'm here. Mm-hmm. And then Lizard kind of did the same thing.
Yeah. They basically were explaining their whole story. Also, Lizard made a joke, was like, because him and Jamie Foxx's character, I can't remember his name. What happened to you? Last time I saw you, you had the comb over and the stuffed teeth. And, like, he's cracking jokes.
I will say, I hated his design in Spider-Man, bro. Jamie Foxx's.
Oh, the original one?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, the all blue was terrible.
It's terrible.
Fucking terrible. This one looks so much better.
So I'm glad they got the joke off, like, hey,
yeah,
it's me,
And then, Flint basically explains, like, hey, look, so in my timeline, Doc Ock died 2 years after Norman died. And, like, he runs through how Norman died. And then Strange comes up and puts them both puts Norman in the fucking cage. He's basically he sits it to where he has his button. But Peter's like, we can try and help them. And Doc Strange is like, no, because if it's in their fate to die, they should die.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, no, I gotta do this. So he steals the fucking box.
Dude, they have one hell of a scene there.
Oh my god.
They go through this thing called the mirror dimension while they're having their showdown. Oh my god. I can't even explain it. Buildings coming in from the side and, like, the sky. There's one point after that he goes out into their realm on the street. And he has, like, this out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, his body just won't give it to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then Peter realizes, wait, so this is basically like geometry. As quick as possible, like, when Strange opens up the portal to go back where he needs to go, he set up all these webs that caught Strange and tied him up. Took his ring from him, took the box, and left. Basically, he tells Ned and MJ, like, I just beat Doctor Strange. And then he, like, tells them, like, he's got a plan. They do these callbacks, which are so fucking great. One of my favorite callbacks is Willem Dafoe, like, talking about how he can help Peter do the science. He's like, I'm sort of a scientist myself. He convinces them all because, like, if you stay here and that wizard comes back, he's going to end y'all.
Yep, he's going to send you back and you're going to die.
So they're like, fuck it, we'll do it. So they decide we're going to go to Happy's.
But they keep Lizard in the van.
To be fair, if you try to move that fucking lizard off the street into that house, people would have said something.
He's not fitting in the elevator, bro. I wouldn't say they're all friends now.
No.
Throw little jabs at each other. The first thing is, because Doc Ock is still restrained by the nanotechnology by Peter, and he works up like this cure for him.
This little chip.
And one cool thing is, like, Norman helps him with this. So they hoist Doc Ock up on his tentacles in like the next story because this is like a 2-story place. At first thought, when they replaced the chip, I didn't think he was going to die like in that sense, but he just goes limp.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, Doc Ock. He springs back to life. It's like, oh shit. And he's cured.
Like nothing. Like it was perfect for him.
He's like, thank you, my boy. Thank you, Peter. Jamie Foxx's character, he just doesn't want to do this. He's standing out the window talking to Sandman. I don't even want to go back to my old universe. I got so much power here, so much potential.
And of course, Sandman wants to go back because his whole thing was he's wanting to be with his daughter. Jamie Foxx is like looking out the window, he's like, man, look at all this. Like, look at this place or whatever. And like, Sandman was like, oh, you talking about the apartments? Like, yeah, I love how the flow is like, no, I'm talking about the fucking universe. They designed this thing for Electro. So basically, it's this little thing that's kind of similar to Tony Stark's little collar thing he put on his chest. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to like get all his energy and like all the electricity out of him and basically turn him back to a normal person. And they're gonna work on other stuff, but Peter's spider sense just goes fucking crazy.
Goes haywire, and you know something's wrong. It's a cool shot too, because he's just looking around the room because he can't tell at first which one of y'all is about to do some shit. And he closes his eyes and focuses. Guess who turns?
Ant-Man. No. it was Norman.
Norman, of course. Who said it that set him off?
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock said that, hey, ain't it gonna make you feel better not having that dark half no more?
Just be you. He's like, yeah, just me.
Norman reaches for something, and then it reveals very quick Norman is like, yeah, you really think it's gonna be that easy? Like, I was gonna let go of Norman? No, this is me now. And I will say, Norman ain't no bitch in this movie. Like, he can kick some fucking ass.
Just with that, he convinces Electro, like, hey, look, I don't want to do this neither. So he pulls that thing off his chest.
And then, like, Sandman, like you said, like, he didn't even say much. He just turned.
Yeah, he just kept turning back and forth. I guess it was just in his mind. It was like, if I go this way, maybe this is the easiest way to go. If I do this, maybe this is the easiest way to go. And he just couldn't decide.
Like, dialogue-wise, out of all of them, he had the less dialogue.
They did that in Connors because J. Jonah Jameson had somebody following Peter Parker. Shit started having to pop off at this moment. And, Doc Connors was like, I'm coming out now. So he gets out, and they have this crazy extra epic stuff, and Electro leaves.
He leaves.
He grabs this little, I think it's called an arc reactor. It was a different one that was like, it was basically like kind of like how Tony was, but it has so much fucking energy in it, so much electricity. He takes it, he dips.
Sandman does too.
Sandman basically dips. Connors and Norman Osborn fighting Peter, and I was like, well, this is just Norman Osborn. He ain't got the suit on. So Peter
doesn't matter.
No, this man is throwing Peter through fucking walls, through windows.
He's layeth the smacketh down.
I said this to Ray. He powerbombed this man through the floor.
For real.
Peter got up, was going through. Connors catches him, throws him through a window right onto the same floor as Norman. Norman picks this man up and spine busters him through the fucking floor.
It was fucking crazy.
What the there were so many WWE moves. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I loved every minute of it. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, this is just next level fucking Goblin. And Lizard too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention, the first time they fight, Green Goblin and Tom Holland fight, there's this one point where Tom Holland gets the upper hand, and he's just wailing on one of them. He's just sitting there fucking laughing at it. He's like,
he's laughing at every punch. Like, it was so fucking crazy.
Fuck. So this fight scene's playing out. Then they finally get to the very last floor, right? Yep, so they get on this bottom floor. Peter's getting his ass whooped by William Dafoe. I'm talking about whooped. Aunt May's running down with the stuff. Peter's like, May, just run. Get out of here.
He has him down. Like, he basically has him on the ground, choking him out like he's about to kill him. Aunt May saves his ass.
However, it was kind of a callback to Spider-Man.
Yep, to the original.
Because what happens, his fucking hoverboard comes in and fucking crushes Aunt May.
She falls to the ground, and like, I immediately was like, oh shit, she's dead. Damn, that's fucked up. And I immediately started getting like emotional and shit. And then Goblin starts to throw this bomb at her. Peter sort of knocks it away, covers some of the blast, but it still happens. Cops fucking swarm this place. And even though they just saw all these villains come out, and these villains literally ran through the cops, like SWAT teams and all that stuff, all their like vehicles and shit, they still go in there with the intent to get fucking Peter.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
What the fuck? But Aunt May gets up, she starts talking to Peter and like telling him, look, I know, like, even with all that, you still try to help him. Like, he was like upset, and then she was like, she gave him the quote. Mm-hmm. She gave him the quote.
The Uncle Ben quote.
With great power, sometimes that comes great responsibility. She changed it up a little, but it was still the quote. Falls to the ground again, talk about how she needs to catch her breath. And then Peter sees blood on his hands, and I was like, son of a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Like, they even did this with the credits. I was talking to Ray, like, they were fucking with you. Like they were playing.
With your emotions.
She lays there, and it's this very fucking emotional scene.
Yeah, it's terrible.
God, it was so fucking rough. Peter is literally talking to his dead aunt, like, just look at me.
May look at me and say something.
Look at me. And I'm like, I'm sitting here trying not to fucking cry. Skylar said he was crying. I don't think you cried. Mm-mm. But, like, fuck, dude.
I felt it, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it was so fucking rough. And then the SWAT team comes in there. They grabbed Happy. They put lasers on this motherfucker and was like trying to get him.
All he did was pull up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So Peter dips. And when he dips.
He got shot, though.
He did. Yeah, they're like, we're going to open fire. And it cuts to Ned and MJ who know that Aunt May died.
They got the box. Broken curse. Not curse, but the spell in it.
Because Peter was like, I can't do this unless I know this is safe and I know that y'all are safe.
Peter's not talking to him. They're like,
trying to find a way to get to him.
What do we do? MJ, she's just like, fuck it. Ned, I'm going to do it. I'm going to push it. I know Peter told me not to. I don't know what else to do. He's not talking to us. I'm going to push it.
Yeah.
Ned's like, no, hold on. And then he mentions, I wish I could just see Pete.
And you see a little portal.
Yeah, you see like it's not a full portal yet. It's like sparks at first. MJ's like, okay, do that again. He does it again. It's a little more. And finally they get up. And he's like, when he does it again, it's like, I wish I could see Peter Parker. He opens up this portal.
And then what do you see? You see Spider-Man standing in the middle of this alleyway.
Yeah.
And he's got a mask on and everything, and the theater's kind of dark, so you couldn't really tell at first. Then it hit my head, I was like, wait, that Peter didn't have his mask on for one. Tom Holland didn't have his mask on. And the way this man was moving, it wasn't like that. And bro, when I tell y'all, the fucking crowd, the theater went so...
It was amped as fuck.
So hype. Because guess who came through that motherfucking portal? Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man. Like,
he immediately
amazing Spider-Man. Immediately. And it was so
fucking
like, dope.
Yeah!
I literally was like, bro, I ain't never heard nobody cheer for that man like that. And not because he's a bad actor, it's just those movies weren't great. But this was fucking dope.
Yeah, it was dope.
And MJ just does not trust him. Prove your Spider-Man. He does the most simplest thing, but it would prove to any normal person that this is Spider-Man. He jumps up and grabs the fucking roof.
And she just keeps throwing bread at him. What's the old lady's name? Yeah, the grandmother's basically asking him, like, why are you up there? Get that little cobweb there. And it's fucking fine.
And it's to prove him for proof for MJ so she knows that he's Spider-Man crawl across the ceiling. And so, well, that's not the right Peter, so we need to do it again. And they do it again. And motherfucker, like, it hadn't even been, like, 5 minutes.
No, it was back to back.
This motherfucking crowd lost their shit again, because who walked through that fucking portal this time?
The old motherfucking G, baby. Toby Maguire.
No suit.
No suit.
Straight up, just Toby Maguire. And I heard a scholar say something like, bro, please let him have a suit. Because he made a joke like, are you going to fight motherfuckers looking like
a youth pastor?
Like a cool youth pastor? And like he comes in like the most mild-mannered person. He had no idea about this portal. And they got teleported here too. They were in New York. They just didn't know where the fuck to go, what to do.
Because this wasn't their universe.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I just came through this portal that just closed.
It's not there anymore.
And then I guess his spider sense starts tingling. Because him and Andrew Garfield look at each other for the first time. And they get all wide-eyed. And in sync, they do the same flip.
And the web shooting at each other, proving both of them were Spider-Man.
Yeah. But guess who gets the upper hand on that one? Toby Maguire. They didn't have a fight, but Toby web slung his web shooter. So he was like, oh, okay. Then they explain everything that went on. I'm Peter Parker, no, I'm Peter Parker. Or Peter Parker needs help. Toby Maguire's like, well, can you think of a place he would go to just to get away from everything to clear his mind? Because mine was the Chrysler building. Toby said
that, and then Andrew Garfield said mine was the Empire State.
Empire State. And he's like, yeah, that's nice. He's like, yeah.
So they go find fucking Tom Holland, Peter Parker, right? I'm going to just say Tom Holland so you know who the fuck we're talking about. They go find Tom.
We'll do names for now.
Yeah. They go find Tom. He's crying, obviously, because Aunt May just died. MJ and Ned help him. He sees these other two Spider-Man tell him, look, I'm sorry, y'all. Fuck this. I can't do this. I gotta send y'all back. And MJ's like, nah. And he's like listen to him. She's like, listen to him. And they basically tell him their backstories and explain, look, we've been through the same shit before.
We know loss.
Yeah. Garfield was like, I lost Gwen. You know what I mean? I immediately went to I became vengeful. I became bitter. I became an awful person. I don't want you to do that.
Because we never saw that. I wish we would have.
No, we did. That was after the fact.
Yeah.
Toby was like, the day that Uncle Ben died, I thought I found his killer. I chased him down, and I wanted him to die, and I got my wish, but it didn't help.
It didn't make it better, no.
No. And then they get to the thing where they talk about, Anime said, comes great responsibility, and they finish it for him. He's like, how'd you know that? That's what Uncle Ben said on the day he died. And they have this moment, they're like, fuck it, let's work together.
Yep.
And it's so fucking dope. They're all in the fucking lab. They're cracking jokes. they're working on shit. And obviously Tobey Maguire looks older. And that's another thing. The CGI did not look terrible to me. Because they had to de-age Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And it did not look like, I couldn't tell.
But that's the thing, that they didn't do that with Toby.
No, Toby looked older. He didn't look like he was in his 60s or some shit. But he looked older, and they explained.
This is later.
Yeah, this is later.
Tom Holland's working on something. Andrew's working on something for the Lizard and Electro. Toby's working on something for Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Like the serums, the cures. They get on this conversation between Toby and Andrew. Toby's like, hey, Andrew, do you have somebody? Because he's looking at MJ and Tom Holland, who's having a moment over there. He's like, nah, hard to find a time doing Peter Parker stuff. He's like, you? He's like, well, yeah, it's complicated. But I have an MJ. Well, not that MJ. My MJ. Y'all worked it out. So, yeah, it took a long, long time. But we worked it out. Yeah. So, again, that insinuates this is much, much later. And then it's game time.
So they get all the things together.
That's when they crack the joke about, you gonna ride into battle with your fucking...
Yeah, he just, pulls it up oh, shit. And, again, the crowd is, like you would think we were at, a sporting event. They were losing it. They were fucking clapping every time, this whole last bit of the movie. Because they have this whole plan, and they're all dressed as their Spider-Man.
Their respective versions.
They also had this little section where they were talking about themselves, hyping each other up. Because Andrew was talking about how great Tom and Toby are, and basically it was they were he talking about how great those series are. And they're like, no, look, what you do is amazing. They were really hyping each other up. It was really cool.
Yeah, Toby's like, I want to hear you say it.
Yeah.
You're amazing. He's like, I just needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I guess from Toby Maguire.
And then they talk about how, because Toby doesn't have, the web shooter things. He has it in his fucking thing. And they're trying to ask him how he got it. And he's like, I didn't learn to breathe. I just breathed. It's just how that is, They talked about some of the people they fought.
Toby mentioned Venom.
Yeah. Tom mentioned Thanos.
And fucking Andrew Garfield's like, I fought this Russian dude.
This guy in a rhino-plated armor. Dude, that's fucking dope. Yeah. And it's about all their battles, and they're like, "Fuck it, it's time." They are fighting on top of the Statue of Liberty, which for whatever reason this town decided to put a fucking Captain American shield on top of it. What? Why?
In honor, I guess.
I guess. And then the fight happens, and they're all showing up at different times. These villains are so extra. I love it. They end up webbing each other in the face and all this other stuff,
getting crossed with one another. And so, they're like, man, this ain't gonna work.
And they also had a plan where they were gonna throw the box to MJ and Ned, then we're going to close the portal, and Ned, for whatever reason, could not close the fucking portal. So they're like, well, we got to single them off. Let's go one by one. And who's the first one they go after? Sandman. Let's get Sandman out the way. Toby's like, oh, fuck it, I'll lead him up to the top of the fucking thing. He gets him up there, and he doesn't have the thing.
He's like, guys, I'm ready.
And they both got caught. But they eventually get it to him. He hits Flint with it, and Flint goes back to a normal person.
Yeah.
Toby's
like, all right, Flint. You're okay. Stay here. I'll be back.
So they go after Electro now.
This is a little complicated. It was a little more fierce than the Sandman battle. Yeah, so they conjure up to take this off him. We're gonna have to do it up close. All three of them try to web him at the same time, while one holds the other down. One tries to reach for it. He's like, nah. They get pushed off. The other one they're just taking turns.
And then he's holding fucking Andrew Garfield in place, and he drops the fucking thing, and he's just being electrocuted in place. And then who pops up?
Doc Ock.
And he comes in villainous, grabs both the other Spider-Men that's not Andrew Garfield.
He's like, hold on. These two are mine.
Electro's like, bro, I don't need your help. And he's like, well, I'm not here to help you. He just fucking...
Caught him off guard. It was nice, though.
Yeah, caught him with an extra tentacle. Yeah,
a little tentacle, and just pulled the thing off.
Put the new one on him.
Yep.
Now he's good. And then they're trying to get Lizard. And then I can't remember who got it. I think it was Tom. Tom got him.
Yeah, Tom got Lizard.
Yeah, he hits him, and Connor goes back to himself. And then at this point is when Doctor Strange shows up. Where, when MJ fell. Was that before Lizard turned, or was it after?
It was around the same time, because Lizard goes into the portal, remember? Because they have to run out.
And she gets knocked off.
So, Andrew saves her, and then Tom gets Lizard.
Lizard knocked MJ off the scaffolding, and she's falling. So Tom goes to save her. and Lizard fucking tackles him and takes him out the way, and you're like, oh shit. But Andrew Garfield's like, fuck, this is my moment to redeem myself, and he does it.
He does.
Perfectly. Crowd, again, go crazy for this man for saving her.
Andrew's ability to like just tap into that scene again. I know he's an actor. Andrew and like Toby, like on scene, it's like they never left. Like he's just sitting there crying, like, "Hey, you okay?" Like, "Yeah, are you okay?" He starts breaking down a little bit, and he collects himself, like, "Yeah, I'm good." Andrew Garfield, like, I don't know. Like he wasn't a bad Spider-Man at all. No. Like, he was a great Spider-Man. He was just in shit movies. Yeah.
Strange comes out and he realizes what Peter's doing. He's like, I guess I'll help him. Like they've got everybody down, right? Jamie Foxx is electric. Like he's sitting there and he's talking to Andrew Garfield, and he's like explaining his whole backstory and everything. And like he was like, "Can I say something?" He was like, "Yeah, man, all the stuff that you did, like helping the poor and you being from Queens and all that stuff. I just thought you were gonna be black."
And it's like, I'm sorry.
He's like, there's gotta be a black Spider-Man out somewhere, which there is. And then out of nowhere, guess who comes back into this bitch? Green Goblin, Norman Osborn.
And he says the quote, "And Spider-Man come out to play."
And he's dropping bombs and everything, knocks everybody to the ground, all the heroes or whatever.
Breaks the shield.
Mm-hmm. They're literally fighting on the shield. It's Tom Holland and Norman Osborn fighting on this big ass shield that is now floating in the water.
And his performance, like, not even because the dialogue during this while they're fighting is Willem Dafoe's just next level on this shit.
Because he's like, you're still too much of a coward to do what's you're too weak to do what needs to be done. They have this crazy fight, and he's about to kill Norman. Like he's beating the fucking shit out of Norman now, and it's this anger because this man.
Aunt May.
So he's about to kill him, and then what happens is Toby jumps in, stops like, "You can't do this, because if you do this, this is what he doesn't say this."
Eye contact,
and you
just can tell,
because Norman had them fucking blades, and he stabs Toby, and at that moment I heard Ray say, "What the fuck?"
I did. I said it loudly as well. I was like, "What the fuck?"
He was so mad
because we joked about it beforehand, like Toby dies.
Yeah,
like, man,
and he's fucking there. Tom doesn't kill. Wasn't that he catches the thing from Andrew Garfield, the serum, stabs him in the neck, and then throws him to the ground, and Norman comes back to normal.
Yep.
And then they go back over to Toby. I'm like, bro, they better not do this fucking shit. Because if they do this shit right now, I will cry.
Bro, I was ready.
I was so like, dude, don't do it. He's like, oh, don't worry, I've been stabbed before.
Yeah. That was God. I was like, thank God.
And then Strange comes back up there, and he's like, things are breaking through because he's trying to fix it, and he got hit by Green Goblin. Mm-hmm. And it messed it up. So, like, you can see purple cracks in the fucking sky. And
like these silhouettes of, like, these people come through.
Peter goes up to him and is like, look, is there any way to fix this? No, I'm trying everything I can to control this, but they're going to get in. What if we do the spell? But this time you just make sure no one knows who I am. And Strange is like, if I do that, no one will remember you. They won't know your name. It'll basically like Peter Parker did not exist. He goes down to Tom Holland. He goes down to Garfield and fucking McGuire. They have this little moment. They hug. Like, he thanks them. He's like, this is what we do. And
like, we know. You ain't got to say it. We know.
And then he leaves, and Andrew's like, oh, dude, you're probably in so much pain right now. And Toby's like, yeah.
Yeah.
MJ and Ned, and he has this emotional ass scene with them, basically telling him, look, hey, you're not going to remember me.
And he's like, I'll find you. I'll make you remember me.
Yep. And then he leaves, and Strange does his thing, and then no one remembers who Peter Parker is. He literally becomes like a new person. Like, he loses all the stuff that he had. Well, not all, like all his physical stuff. He still had that. I was just saying, he was applying for MIT. That's no longer a thing. Nope. He's getting a GED now. He runs into
Happy
at Aunt May's
tombstone.
I can't think
Graveside.
of the word.
Graveside.
They leave. He goes to the coffee shop, sees MJ, sees Ned. They're still friends, which I thought was really cool. And he has his whole speech prepared. He's going to talk to her, and he just does not do it.
Changes his mind.
Sees they're happy, which after all that happens, we get credits. The first one happens. What was the first
one? We see Eminem at
this
diner.
Eminem at this diner.
Now we see Tom Hardy. And he's drunk off his ass.
Yep.
And he's sitting there like talking to this bartender and Venom at the same time. He's like, maybe I should go pay a visit to the Spider-Man.
And if you've seen how Venom 2 ended in the post-credit scene, he got basically transported to this universe. Mm-hmm.
But he basically saying like, hey, I'm going to go pay Spider-Man a visit.
But he was really fucking drunk.
But he gets up. Guess what?
Bro, one of my favorite things though, he was talking about like, he mentioned Iron Man. He's like, there's that big green guy. And he was like, yeah, the Hulk. And then Venom was like,
Talk about a shitty name.
Because I guess Venom came with the name. I can't remember what the name was, and Brock just shit on it.
Yeah, he wasn't having it. Venom disappears.
Goes right back to
However,
the universe.
you see one thing on the counter.
It's a
little
condom.
this used condom that turns into a symbiote. Now you see this little piece of symbiote that cowers away.
Yep.
So that led me to believe, and it could change. That leads me to believe since Tom Hardy's Venom went back to his universe, we're gonna have a new Venom.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it.
We'll still have a Venom.
Yeah.
They also have another after credit scene where it's Doctor Strange. It's basically setting up Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
What did we think of this movie? I fucking loved it.
I love it. If I had to rate this, man, it's up there.
I don't know. I can't give it a 10.
No, I wouldn't give it a 10.
I wouldn't give it a 10. There's some things I didn't like.
I'm comfortable giving this movie an 8.5. Like, I wouldn't give it a 9.
I'm going 8.5 with you.
I'm going 85%.
And
8.5.
Skylar asked us a question, and he was like, basically, where would you rank this among all the other Spider-Man movies?
I don't know. That's another video.
Yeah, it's a whole other video. Let us know what you think. If you've watched this movie, where do you rank it? If you want to rank it, like, is it the best Spider-Man movie? Is it in the middle? Do you think it's the worst one? If you do, please explain why. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, they had a lot of nostalgia moments and fan service stuff, but that's what we wanted.
Yeah, this movie, to say the least, is a love letter to the fans.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. And again, like, Willem Dafoe's fucking performance, Jamie Foxx's performance, Tom Holland's performance, Andrew Garfield. Like, everybody's performance was just... It's like they was on cocaine.
Exactly. It was so...
It was fucking good.
Even the moments where it was like it felt like downtime, where like some people might not enjoy it, where they were just like talking to each other, still felt enjoyable to me. But let us know what y'all thought about it, guys. If you're new, subscribe. Please help us out. It helps us get more... It helps us in the long run, because the more subscribers, the more likes. Like the video. Even if you don't like it, you can dislike it if you want to, but tell us why.
This helps us get an algorithm.
Yeah, you can see more of our videos. So if you like it, please like it, subscribe. We try to do different things. You know, we review movies, we do all this other stuff. If you want to leave a comment and let us know what you want us to check out, we will try our best. Some of our stuff gets blocked, so can't do it. But thank y'all for watching this. Till next time, guys.
Adios.
What a slam. Bring us back to you, grouches. My crew just might roll on you like